Fatalities are rare, and they're preventable.
A life-threatening allergic reaction.
If it's not treated, it can be fatal.
Over 600,000 Canadians suffer from anaphylaxis. The simple act of eating the wrong food can lead to a deadly reaction. Over 50% of all Canadians know someone that has anaphylaxis. This is something Marilyn Allen knows all too well.
My background all started with a tragedy because I paid the ultimate price for not knowing how terribly important it was to be vigilant and avoid allergen, and that was the slamming of our life in 1990 when our 15-year-old, approaching 16-year-old daughter passed away, died suddenly from a food-induced anaphylaxis. And it was from peanut. And it did happen in our house, and it was innocent.
Julia Basso was diagnosed with anaphylaxis when she was only 17 months old.
Cross-contamination is the biggest issue because like a knife, I use a knife for margarine or something, my mom uses it for something else, and then I use it again. That just minute allergen can cause a full-blown reaction.
John Shams is a pharmacist who also suffers from anaphylaxis.
Actually, I had an attack about last Christmas. I had one of those Christmas chocolates. I didn't know it had any nuts inside, so I just tasted it. I didn't really eat the whole thing. And after about 2 minutes or so, I had to be rushed to the emergency.
Kyle Dine works with anaphylactic youth to spread the word about the dangers of anaphylaxis.
In my perspective, the ideal world for someone with allergies would involve those without allergies understanding them to the point of someone with allergies does, whether it's reading labels and making sure food is safe. So when they give you food and they say that it is safe, you can be assured that they are on the same level as you, and there wouldn't be so much second guessing and anxiety that goes behind eating at every meal. For those at risk for anaphylaxis, I think the major precautions they should be taking, it's really every day. There's so many things from carrying your auto-injector around, that's number one, to make sure that it's always with you, having epinephrine. But also, there's so many risky situations out there.
And as a pharmacist, John has experienced firsthand these risky situations.
I've had 2 or 3 experiences when someone comes running into the pharmacy looking for help. They don't know what to do. They have like a severe allergic reaction. It's either that they know they need an EpiPen or they just need help. So one case, the man knew he needed an EpiPen. It's actually available at the back of the pharmacy without a prescription. So I passed it on to the man. I showed him how to use it. He used the EpiPen. We called 911 and the emergency came within a few minutes because it is such a serious reaction.
Why didn't these people call 911 in the first place?
Well, sometimes it's a reaction that takes, it could take up to a few minutes, or it could be like a prolonged reaction, and someone doesn't know what to do. They're just in a state of shock. So sometimes if it's the first time, they don't know what to do. And they think maybe they don't want to go to the emergency and wait a few hours, so they come to the pharmacist.
So what happens when you have an anaphylactic reaction?
Be swelling of the mouth, the throat, loss of blood pressure, so some very severe symptoms.
The fact that I can't breathe, that I'm itchy, that I'm sneezing, it's just like a disaster.
My body broke out into hives all over. I started to have difficulty breathing, swelling in the throat, and like a severe drop in blood pressure.
What did your family think?
They were freaking out.
How so?
They were just nervous and just in a rush to get me to the hospital.
Families have suffered a terrible loss, but one mother channels her grief to helping others.
Every day I grieve, but my grief takes the form of honoring my daughter by making a difference.